Hello, everyone. I'm Heather Fleming of Conscious Nutrition, and it's January 2018, and I felt it was time to upgrade my presentation regarding my food tree. I love my old one. There was one little error, so I'll make note of it in this one. And just plus, we all shift and evolve, so I felt like it was time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you here and give you a little bit of lowdown. There we go. All right. All right. So you can see me over there at the end, over on the corner there, and then here we go. So, all right. My food tree, I started to create it, years ago. And honestly, it's been still something I am still surprised of how amazing it is. People would come to me and I'd be like doodling on pieces of paper and try to be like, oh, here, try, eat this, eat this. And so all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'll make a chart. Okay, I'll make the next page. And then it became, of course, an ebook too. But I find most of us are visual people. And then I wanted this tool to keep helping people connect to their meals and support them. So, and then the paleo diet came out, and of course Mediterranean diet was around, and then vegan. So the tree actually helps us find our own balance with these types of meals, and supports you in like experimenting with what balance works for you. So the food tree is a visual tool that I used a variety of healing modalities to support you and to combine certain foods. So one of the main modalities was food combining. It's pretty old, and it was really complex. So I tried to simplify it. I just kept seeing my clients feel better and more relieved after meals instead of bloated, constipated, and tired. So this tool I still recommend it. A lot of my teachers still recommend it. And food combining is super fun. So that was one of them. And then of course, just like looking through tons of books and finding some commonalities. And so I kept bringing those commonalities together and then gave us the food tree. So use this tree to experiment with your own body and observe how you feel after meals. Okay. All right. Here's the gist of the tree. So thanks to my beautiful friends who've all helped me keep upgrading it and making it cuter. So the foundation of the tree here is vegetables. So I couldn't make all the vegetables in the world fit on there. So of course I went with some more kapow ones with more energy and vitality and nutrition. But please have fun. You can always check back with me and refer to my other ebooks for what other vegetables would be great on there. Maybe be a little mindful of nightshade vegetables. Sometimes that hurts people's stomachs, and those are usually eggplant and the pepper family. Green pepper doesn't work well in my tummy. And tomatoes too. I see tomatoes in season do really well for my clients, but tomato paste and tomatoes out of season maybe don't work as well for you. So you'll notice that you maybe get heartburn from those. All right, so vegetables are the foundation of the tree. And then we'll go up to the right side there to proteins. So I have your salmon, grass-fed beef, dark meat poultry, low mercury white fish, duck, buffalo, lamb, protein powders, beans and lentils, organic free-range eggs, and occasionally white meat, poultry, and game meat. I get a lot of inquiries about this. What I tended to see in my with all the people I worked with, everyone was overeating white meat. And so I was like, wait a second, look, I want us to be curious. So ask the why. And we got told that it was lower in fat. So the error on my last food tree video is I think I said it's a gland, and it's not. I just think they're different tissues of the body. That's what I meant to say. So when you tend to eat the same thing over and over, your body maybe doesn't get all the nutrition it needs, and we tend to not absorb it very well. So I wanted to challenge our minds with the dark meat poultry. Okay, so the blood flow does go through the dark meat a little bit differently than the white meat. So just kind of see how that goes, because white meat got quoted better because it was low fat. And what we found out since then, that's not always the correct case. So see how you feel. A lot of my clients are relieved that I suggest dark meat because they're like, wait, I always have liked that better. So be careful of your mind, because your body has its own instinct for sure too. And then of course, I wish I didn't write wild caught salmon here, but I'd recommend wild caught salmon, grass-fed beef, So preferably grass-fed, dark meat there too. Buffalo, my mom lives in South Dakota, so I personally love buffalo, and I grew up on deer too, and I feel great on those. It's always nice to rotate those in, maybe every few months, just give yourself a new protein source and see how your body responds to that. Lamb, of course. Duck is fun too. Protein powders. I did put protein powders on here just because of our stress levels and our lifestyles. Do I wish we could just, be in our organic farm all day? Absolutely. I personally am not. So I'm on my computer more often. So sometimes the protein powder is a nice, simple, convenient way for me to get some amino acids as quick as possible. Less work for digesting too if I'm not craving meat. I put beans and lentils here too. Beans and lentils I kept separate from starches. There is starch in beans and lentils, but I kept them separate from over there because I have a lot of vegetarian clients. And when I saw them, back again, this was the science telling us combine beans and rice together and you'll have a complete protein. Wonderful. However, I was seeing a lot of my clients have digestion issues. So I would have them have beans for one meal and rice at the other meal. They didn't have to always be at the same meal. They could be the same day. So that's why I put beans and lentils over here. Organic free range eggs too. I did go crazy putting organic on the whole tree because I wanted it to be more available for the whole population instead of people seeing it going, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't buy organic. So if I were to put more things on there, of course, I suggest to buy more organic as often as possible. But I did want eggs to be something to maybe pay the extra buck for. And then again, the occasional white meat, poultry, and other game meats can be a little hard on your digestion too. Oh, one more second back to protein powders. I'm a big fan of more vegetable-based ones like pea or rice or hemp or vegetarian-based ones. Some of my clients do great on whey. Just be very conscious of what type of whey you buy so you can get grass-fed whey proteins too. All right, top of the tree is the good fats. So I have it broken down into raw nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, pine nuts, pecans, pistachios, unsweetened coconut flakes, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, chia, and hemp seeds. Then others is avocado and fish oil up top. Then we have the nut butters, almond, walnut, cashew, macadamia, and tahini. I'm in love with those two right now. Cooking oils is coconut. I think, get rid of grapeseed off my list. Rice bran I'd keep on there and ghee. And I'd actually put avocado oil on there now too. I had some old research about grapeseed and now I have some new. So I would cut that out and I will try to update my tree again. So there's always an update. And then salad oil, flax, walnut, sesame seed, avocado, and extra virgin olive oil. I had that more on the salad versus cooking. Unless you're a wonderful chef, I trust you. Go ahead and work your magic with that. I tend to heat my pan up a little high and that can denature the olive oil, okay? Over there to the starches is quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato, yams, red potato, and winter squashes, such as acorn, yellow, and spaghetti squash. Occasionally do sprouted grain, wheat, and cereal, brown rice flours, gluten-free options, oatmeal, corn tortillas, and rice and nut crackers, okay? Those are more processed, so that's why I have them on occasional. And then I have starches on here because I love working with vegetarian clients. I think some people do well with starches, so I don't like to throw a whole food group out just because of the newest diet wave. Yes, there's some research that it can be challenging for your digestive tract, but again, I feel it's balance. I see being a woman, many of my female clients, if you told me I can never have starch again, that's just not where I'm at. So it's figuring out what your baseline is. Like, you know what? I actually only need 3 to 4 for the month versus thinking I needed more. That's what I want us to do. Even back to proteins, thinking that we needed to eat white meat, chicken 3 times a day. We don't now. We have wonderful athletes that now are more vegetarian and getting their protein sources from vegetarian options too. So I just want us to make sure we're not like right here and we can drop down here more too, because otherwise we're always controlling and not connecting. All right, so then I have fruit up top, that apple up there. Fruit is best combined with the fats. That's why I put them up there, except for some fruits, your higher water content and your higher sugar fruits. So like watermelon, melons for sure, mangoes. So you don't need to connect them with fat. but I see my fruit group, if we're having fruit and nuts as a snack, that tends to help us balance our blood sugar and helps us sustain our energy longer. And then look at the little goat dairy over there, guy, the little goat down the bottom. I did do goat just because of like raw goat cheese. There is some medicinal properties with probiotics in some dairy products too. So dairy goes best with the protein side of the tree, okay? And then alcohol, I have over there. I could have put it a couple different places, but it looked cute there. Alcohol, if you are going to drink alcohol, be careful of your starches and fruits that day. So I kind of put them on the same side so we can find balance here. So you replace it there. So the main function of the tree is, of course, the visual. If you do veggies, protein, fat, that would be the paleo diet, some people would call. So it's the protein side of the tree. Some programs recommend beans and lentils. Of course, soaking them is ideal if you want to help you with your absorption issue, help with better absorption if you have absorption issues. So if you do veggies, protein, and fat, I call those protein meals. And if you do veggies, starch, and fat, I call those starch meals, okay? And then if you do the whole tree, those are called combined meals. So the goal is to see how many of each of these you need, all right? So yeah, the whole tree. And then fruit and fat is a snack. Dairy goes best with the protein side of the tree. And then here I have some more basic guidelines. Vegetables are the foundation of your program. Eat one side of the tree or the other as often as possible. This will ensure you separating your starches and proteins at meals. Protein, fat, veggies, starch, fat, veggies. So let me pop back up to the tree. What I tend to see is that when we eat more protein, we need a little more stomach acid. Okay, we actually need our pH a little more acidic in our stomach. So if we eat proteins, we want that little extra acid in there to break it down better. And when we eat starches, it tends to it changes that pH, and so it's not quite as acidic. So if we can separate them, you'll notice less bloating and you'll feel better. So that's why I have the proteins and starches separate there. So there's some chemistry going on, all right? Okay. Eat 1 to 2 servings of healthy fat with both sides of the tree, or if you're skipping a fat with protein one meal, maybe have a little bit more at the next meal. See how you feel with fats too, because some people don't digest those as well either. You may combine proteins and starches the more often, the closer you get to your goal, and if you increase amount of daily physical activity. I know when I swim, it's harder for me not to have protein and starches. Plus, I feel like my digestive fire is working better too. Fruit, eat fruit with nuts as a snack, like apple and almond butter, not one of my favorite. Not always with meals, but there's some beautiful things out there, like some salads with pears on it. Try not to be this all or none mentality. I'm just helping you get more connected to your digestion first, and then experiment. Fruit is best combined with fat. And then I said what I mentioned earlier, melons, cantaloupe, which can be eaten alone. Grapes, I would put in there too. Higher water, sugar content fruits. I think dairy is not always the ideal thing we need for every meal for optimal health. But if you eat dairy, use organic, whole, raw dairy products or substitute for almond milk, coconut milk, and goat dairy. Dairy is best with the protein side of the tree. So I love raw goat cheese. Manchego cheese too is my other favorite. And if you're drinking alcohol, less fruit and starch. Drink liquids 30 to 60 minutes prior and post meals. Try not to oversaturate yourself. There was that one diet myth out there, drink 2 glasses of water before you eat. Don't do that unless you're really thirsty. So let's use our common sense with that. But don't chug or choke too. You can totally sip if needed. It's just really neat to give your digestive tract the just give it all of its capabilities so the water can maybe throw things off a little bit. Just experiment. Every morning, eat food or have a shake before hot and cold beverages, minus water. You can do water right away and supplements. So before you go and do your coffee and your tea, try to have something little, even if it's half a sip of vegetable juice, or if it's like a couple almonds or a half a piece of fruit. If you've never eaten breakfast and you always have your coffee and tea, give yourself a little nutrition first before you go into your coffee and tea. And then, of course, the protein shake that fits under the protein side of the tree. And then the meal types, like I mentioned, were protein, starch combined. And then free meals are just exchanges. So for example, a free meal could be a salad with just olive oil and avocado on it or something like that, because it doesn't have a protein or starch. So I call those free meals. And things to do too, take 5 deep breaths before every meal. This calms down your sympathetic nervous system so your body can digest better. That's called your parasympathetic nervous system. I'm a big fan of checking in, ask if we need hot or cold food, sweet or savory. Even if you can't go give it what it needs right then, like let's say we brought a salad to work and we wanted a soup. We checked in, we wanted warm. You know that feeling, especially seasonally. So just check, and then I bet this is going to do the meal planning for you. You're going to go, you know what? I want a hot meal the next time. Try rotating between the different meal combinations. So for breakfast, try a protein, lunch, try a starch, dinner, do combo because we usually go out to eat. We're more social. Or flip those around and see what that does for your energy level. All right. So thank you, everyone. Keep following me on YouTube. I'm having so much fun doing videos. And then, of course, Conscious Nutrition via Facebook, my website, and check out my group programs. And actually, I have a program that you can do anytime. It's called the Intuitivarian course. So you can find that on my website there too. And if you want to learn more and dive deeper with this, I would be honored to support you. Thanks so much.